So I'm going to do another quiz in the official Superman quiz book by Bruce Nash from 1978, and this is a long one, so if you follow along, it's going to take a while. Supey's pal. I hate that nickname, Jimmy Olsen. What is Jimmy's middle name? I think it's like Bartholomew or something. Bartholomew. What is the origin of his middle name? No idea. True or false? Jimmy is descended from German stock. I'm say false because I think he's Irish. What color is Jimmy's hair? Red. How tall is Jimmy? I'll guess 5'10". 5'9". 5'9". What is the name of Jimmy's hometown? I don't know. True or false? Jimmy and his family once lived in Smallville. I'll guess yes. How was Jimmy's mother killed? No idea. What happened to Jimmy's father after he survived the tragic accident that claimed his wife? No idea. True or false? And I am going to be tackling Jimmy Olsen stories eventually. But right now I just don't. Either I don't remember or I've never heard these before. An orphan, Jimmy was raised by relatives in a seashore town. I'll say yes. What is the unusual occupation of Jimmy's father? I don't know. What is the name of the adventurer partner of Jimmy's dad? No idea. What was Jimmy's first job at the Daily Planet? Cub reporter? What longtime position did Jimmy hold at the Daily Planet before he was finally promoted to the rank of full-fledged reporter? Cub reporter? What was Jimmy's first newspaper byline? I don't know. What does Jimmy keep locked up in the huge trunk in his apartment? I don't know. Superman gives him all sorts of stuff. So maybe this stuff Superman gives him. I don't know. True or false? Jimmy keeps his Superman souvenir collection in his office. I believe he keeps it in his apartment. True or false? Jimmy Olsen has his own fan club. I believe that is true. What is the name of the hard-to-get blonde stewardess who was Jimmy's girlfriend for years? Wasn't it Lucy Lang? Was it? True or false? Jimmy was married for a brief time to his stewardess sweetheart. I'll say yes. Whose experiments have been responsible for many of the strange bodily transformations Jimmy has undergone? I don't think this is correct, but I'll say Professor Potter. True or false? Jimmy Olsen knows that Clark Kent and Superman are one and the same. No. What strange power did Jimmy derive from a special serum he occasionally drank? Super stretchiness. Who created the weird serum? I'll say Professor Potter. What role did Jimmy adopt each time he drank this serum? Elastic Lad? The Newsboy Legion assisted Jimmy on some of his toughest journalist assignments. What were the names of the original Legion's members? I don't remember. The Newsboy Legion was reactivated in later years. Which new Legion member is not a descendant of one? I don't know. What is the name of the customized vehicle the Newsboy Legion rides around in? The something wagon, the whiz wagon? What is the name? Oh, and I should know the Newsboy Legion because I just did all the stories in the Fourth World, but I don't remember. I can't remember. What is the name of the feminist Daily Planet reporter Jimmy both competes against for scoops and sees socially? I don't remember. What is the name of the discotheque owner in Suicide Slum that Jimmy occasionally dates? I don't remember, or I don't know. What was Jimmy made an honorary member of the Legion of Superheroes? Why was Jimmy? Because he's not from the 30th century? I don't know. Well, his power is only temporary. When Jimmy assumed the role of the secret agent on dangerous cases, he was equipped with a ring siren, a concealed camera in his bow tie, a lapel laser beam in his phony carnation, a flashlight parachute ejector, and a button flamethrower. What was the name of his secret agent identity? I don't know. What is the name of the weird jewel that transported Jimmy back in time into the roles of his reincarnated selves of Marco Polo and Spartacus? I don't know. Jimmy once took over the leadership of a way out group that lived in the wild area and didn't trust anyone over the age of 25. What was the name of this hippie band? The Harrys? From the Fourth World? What is Jimmy's nickname as the two-fisted troubleshooting investigative reporter who solves people's problems? I don't know. The red-haired wonder. I don't know. Let's see how I did. Probably not well. Bartholomew, I was right. Jimmy was given his middle name in honor of one of his ancestors, Saint Bartholomew Olsen, a British explorer who lived to be 109 years of age. False, he is descended. Oh, he's Norse. Okay. Red, 5'5". Oh, he's quite small. Mapletown, that's where he's from. True, Jimmy's dad was curator of the Smallville Natural History Museum. So, okay, so he did live in Smallville for a while. The train she and her husband were riding in plunged off a trestle. Okay, so that's how his mom died. Washed downstream, his dad washed downstream in a daze. Jimmy's dad recovered his senses and memory and began searching for his orphaned son. Unsuccessful in his quest, the senior Olsen launched an archaeological exploration in the jungles of Mexico. Believed dead, Jimmy's father was later rescued from the Mexican wilds by Superman. Okay. False. Jimmy was raised by relatives in a mountain town, so not a seaside town. He is an archaeologist. Okay, that's what his father does. Hal Rand was his adventurer partner. He was an office boy and then cub reporter. So I got 14 right, 13 wrong. A story featuring Superman capture of the Archer, a famous big-name hunter masquerading as a criminal. That was Jimmy's first byline. His trunk is filled with disguises. And he keeps the collection in his apartment, so I did get that one right. True, he does have his own fan club, and Lucy Lane was his girlfriend, sort of. So he didn't marry her. That's false. He broke up with her. Oh, I was right. Professor Potter, but his full name is Professor Phineas Potter. I didn't think that was right. 22, false. He does not know Superman's identity. His body became elastic when he drank the serum. Professor Potter, who else, of course? Elastic Lad was his name. Okay, so the Newsboy Legion was Big Words, Gabby, Tommy, and Scrapper. I have a bad memory. And the one member who didn't have a father in the original was Flipper Dipper. And it was the Whiz Wagon. I did get that correct. That was the vehicle they rode around with. Meg Tempest is the feminist reporter that Jimmy would compete with. Terry Dean is the owner of the discotheque that Jimmy would date. He was over the 18-year-old maximum age for the club membership, so that's why he's not an honorary member of the Legion. Okay, so he was called Secret Agent 55 when he was a secret agent. The Star of Cathaway is the jewel that would transport him back to his reincarnated selves. The Harrys, I got that one right. And Mr. Action was his nickname as an investigative reporter. So I got a lot wrong. But anyway, that was a tough one.